Okay, let's go now with offer curve analysis. Okay, everyone. In the last class, as we discussed that what is important, we need to go with this offer curve analysis as it is an important tool for this international trade and the theory of international trade. We need to assess what is the gains from trade and also, the benefit in participating in international trade. So basically, there is the this we call as a Professor J.S. Mills analysis, and we call it the reciprocal demands. Okay, and that's why the offer curve came into the light. But in fact, all the new trade theories and analysis of Professor Jagdish Bhagwati, and also in some other cases also, the offer curve is very important to assess the role of international trade. That's why we are taking it first. So, who has given the first? The Alfred Marshall, then Edgeworth has talked about it. The offer curve of a nation shows how much of its import commodity the nation demands for it to be willing to supply various amounts of its export commodity. So it means the two countries, when they are participating in international trade, what they are supplying and the other who is willing to take it. So based on that, this offer curve is made. It means the two countries involvement and the one country's offer curve and the other country's offer curve, when they do intersect with each other, then only the exchange would be possible. It means the whole scenario says that the nation one has a separate derivation of the offer curve and the nation two would have the separate derivation of the offer curve, and then the exchange would be possible. So now how these countries are actually proceeding for it, how they are, revealing their supply and also revealing their choices for other country. It is entirely based on the shape of this offer curve. The shape of this offer curve may also fluctuate inward and outward too, based on their demands. So generally, we do call that the offer curve becomes inelastic in further shape because the fundamentals of the offer curve does show that the px by py for a country, if they are offering x commodity as an export commodity, should always rise, and that is the encouragement for that country to go further on that curve. Similarly, the that is also a hidden assumption that the other country has the demand of this x commodity. That's why this curve would also go as a inelastic curve. So we'll go in detail of this offer curve. The reference what we are taking, that is from the Dominic Salvatore itself, and I hope you all have this the ebook of this Dominic Salvatore. It's what shared in the last semester too. Okay, so we have first derivation for this offer curve of nation one. Now to understand this, we should understand some of the basics too. The basics, I do feel they have given, in the new trade theories, particularly these concepts, but that is applicable to all, the stages of international trade. It's applicable equally to the classical, neoclassical, and also the new trade theories. So here I would discuss about those first. So first of all, you need to understand what is the pro trade and the anti trade in production and consumption. See here, to explain you this thing, I'll take this example only. We have here this production possibility curve for the nation one. Okay. Now this production possibility curve is a concave production possibility curve. This concave production possibility curve shows that increasing opportunity cost for a nation. Okay, as we discussed something in the last class about it, that there are three broadly we have this opportunity cost or this production possibility curves. The one is increasing opportunity cost follows increasing opportunity cost, which is concave in the shape. The second, we have decreasing opportunity cost. It means this follows convex shape. And the third, we have constant opportunity cost. It means a constant production possibility curve. Here we have concave production possibility curve. This follows increasing opportunity cost is rising in this case. So generally we do see this kind of production possibility curve in the realistic approach, and in some cases, as I was mentioning, the both combination can also be there, the increasing and decreasing opportunity cost. Now, taking this offer curve, or sorry, this production possibility curve for the nation one, here we have one point, which is what this A point. This A point is showing basically an autarky point. When there we have a autarky point, it means we are not participating in international trade. Let me see if other one is seeking the permission for entering. Yeah. Okay. Fine. So this A point is showing the autarky point. It means this country is not participating in international trade. Now we can go with another point where which is indicating yes, this country is participating in international trade. So let's come on from A point to this F point. Now this F point shows you what? The F point is showing the production point for this country. Okay. So taking this point first, the F point is the production point for this country. But what is the consumption point for this country? The consumption point for this country is this blue indifference curve you can see. Okay. And there is an H point which is following the tangency with this terms of trade line. This terms of trade line, this is the international trade line, which country would like to offer the commodity X to the other country. Now, how would you decide here that this country, nation one, is exactly willing to offer X commodity for the to the other country in the exports? So that's important. This we need to identify. Okay. Some may say that we have a shape of this production possibility curve like this, which is more tend towards this X commodity, which is showing that the comparative advantage for this country has more associated with the X commodity. Okay. The other thing is what our production possibility point may also decide. You see a Tarky point we have here. If this country is not participating in international trade, the country would follow the production and consumption point on this particular point A. It means our production point and a consumption point are not different with each other with the point A. It means the country is consuming this much of the X commodity and this much of the Y commodity, and also producing the same proportion of this much of the X commodity and this much of the Y commodity, because the country is not participating in international trade. But when the country comes to this position, that is the F point, and where they are defining there is a terms of trade line, this is PF is equals to half. And the country's consumption point is now different. Now see from this, the country is making a triangle of exchange, and that is HGF now. Okay. So this shows that the country is producing how much? The country is producing because our production point is this. See, this much of X is being produced, okay, and this much of Y is being produced. At the same time, the country is showing the additional amount of Y's consumption, okay. This is going outside of our production possibility curve. Fine. So when the consumption point is located at the outside of our production possibility curve, this shows that the country is revealing their more consumption with reference to commodity Y. Now, this is the prior condition for the pro trade in consumption. How you identified here that the commodity acts as your exportable commodity or should be ought to be an exportable commodity for this country. The reason behind it, the consumption is more shown in the commodity Y. Okay, so the country has to produce that commodity more, which has to be exported. Okay, where they have specialization or they acquired a comparative advantage in that, and the country has to consume those commodity more, where they are showing which they are importing from other countries. So importable commodities, okay, the importable commodities should be more in consumption, and what they are producing more, that should be an exportable. So this is the first condition, pro trade in consumption. What is the pro trade in production? The production, it means you are producing more of this and you are producing less of this. So that is the pro trade in production. Fine. So once you are reaching and arriving on the position of this pro trade trade, or the pro trade situations of your country, then you can decide your terms of trade line. Fine. So now if this is the first point and you are making this triangle of exchange, the country would offer this to international trade. But what is happening here? Your terms of trade gain is just equivalent to this half. Okay. So whatever you are exchanging, this is following the assumption of barter system. It means whatever X you are giving to the other country, in exchange you are getting some Y in the amount itself. So we are not assessing the goods in monetary terms. Okay, we have just in the volume and the X commodity what you are giving, just half of that Y you are receiving, that shows by this terms of trade which you are getting just a half. So what is an advisable to this country? The country has to go for more specialization further for the commodity acts. Why commodity acts? Because already this country has shown their consumption and the choices for the commodity buy. So the country cannot opt commodity buy as their specialization. So this country has to go for commodity X. So from point F, this country has to move this particular point of production possibility, which is B. So from B, F to B. See here in the whole analysis, still we are talking about free trade situation. There is no obstacles in the trade in the world economy. Okay. So from movement from F point to B point, it is a free trade movement. Okay. The country is not taking and charging any tariff from that. So they are arriving on the B point, and at B point, the country is now able to produce this much of the X. Okay, it means 130 X now they are able to produce. And how much Y? See, earlier we were producing 45 Y, but now we are producing 20 units of Y. So we, compromised this production of Y. The reason because we can get it from other countries at the our preferable exchange rate, because our earlier exchange rate was half, but now our exchange rate is one. It means if we are exchanging this BC, or we are exporting this BC amount of X commodity, the same proportion of Y we will be getting from the other country. So our triangle of exchange is now improved than this particular triangle of exchange. So this triangle of exchange is showing more consumption of Y, or your exchange is now preferable to your own consumption of country, which shows the community indifference curve is now shifting upward from point H to point E. Okay, so the higher consumption so shows the higher level of welfare here. So the country's welfare is increasing by shifting from point F to B, or by shifting from PF to PB as our terms of trade. Is that clear to all? What I am discussing about these this particularly production possibility and a pro trade analysis for this country? Yes, everyone. If you have doubt, you can ask. I can come again. Yes, please, anyone? Is there anyone who is seeking the permission? Let me check. Okay, no. Okay. Yes, tell me if there is any doubt. Is there any doubt with the point A, point F, point B, point H, point E? And also the terms of trade, PF, which is equals to half, PF, which is equals to 1. Is there any doubt about it?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so shall I proceed? Fine. Okay, now the country is offering this first triangle of exchange, then we have a second triangle of exchange. The first triangle of exchange is now source of, this point H here. See, this is our first community indifference curve. See, I'm again and again saying this community indifference curve, instead saying the indifference curve, because this is the whole country's indifference curve. So that's why we do call it community indifference curve rather saying it to indifference curve. So we have here the point H. So we got it through this exchange. So this we will plot here. So this is a terms of trade line, which is the same line. This is PF is equals to half. So this PF is equals to half would be there. We assume that earlier it was P is equals to 1/4. So that's why I just, there is this particular line. So this is not shown in this diagram. So further we jump down this PB is equals to 1. So we have here the shift from H to E point because our consumption would rise. So we reach to the point E. Okay. So we reach to the PB is equals to 1. So the higher terms of trade line means what here? Here for the nation one thing is very must to induce the exports. And that is what? The commodity X price must rise. Or in other words, this PX by PY should rise. Then only this country would like to jump on H point to E point. Or in other words, as we discussed, that the barter system we are following until or unless you are getting this, the more of Y or to earn more Y from the other countries only, you would like to offer this X commodity to others or the another country. So exchange should be favorable, or whatever Y you are exchanging with the X you are exchanging with the Y, that Y should be sufficient in amount whatever X you are exchanging with that. So that is the only meaning of PX by PY is rising, because we are not assessing the whole thing in the monetary terms. So from this terms of trade line, you are reaching to this E point, H to E point. So this way you can club all these points, the points, this you can call it H1, this H and this E, all points. If you club that, this blue offer curve of nation one, you would get it. Okay. Then there is one important thing. The nation one incurs increasing opportunity cost in producing more of commodity X for export. And the more of commodity Y and the less of commodity X that nation one consume with trade, the more valuable to the nation is a unit of X at the margin compared with a unit of Y. So this is very important that PX by PY should rise, and only in that case, this blue offer curve you would see, which is going in an inelastic shape. Okay. So if it is being asked in the interviews or in competitive exams, that why the shape of offer curve is like this, the answer is this only. Okay. Then we'll go for offer curve for nation 2. Okay. The offer curve for nation 1, as we have seen, that was just reverse to that. Okay. So similarly, for nation two's analysis, we'll do. We have again production possibility curve, that is what the concave production possibility curve, and also showing the increasing opportunity cost. Now see, it is just reversed analysis. So definitely the nation 2 is offering commodity Y as an export. Fine. So we would start from the autarky point. For autarky point for this nation 2 would be this A prime. Okay. So if this country is not participating in international trade, then the country's production and a consumption point would be similar. So the country is consuming 40 units of Y and 80 units of X. Now, from this point, the country has to move for the international trade. The country's pro-trade situation is what? The country is revealing their choices more, or the consumption choices more for commodity X. You can see these points E and H are outside of production possibility curve. It means the country would like to consume more of commodity X. Okay. So the pro-trade situation says that the country has to produce more of commodity Y, that is the pro-trade in production, and the pro-trade in consumption is that the country has to consume more of this commodity X. It means the country cannot consume more of commodity Y because they have to offer it more to the outside world. Okay, so we have here this triangle of exchange. Fine, because our production possibility is now shifted from A prime to this F prime point. So we have here this triangle of exchange. this F prime, G prime, and this H prime. So here what is happening? Our terms of trade is, that is PF is equals to 2 now. Okay. Now, in that sense, because what is the offer curve when the two countries would intersect each other? See, this analysis is also reversed in that way also. If we say in the first nation one's offer curve derivation, that this shape is, becoming inelastic just because of px by py is rising. Okay. So here what will happen? This px by py would decline because it's just a reversed case. Okay. So if the terms of trade that is equals to 2 here, the country's triangle of exchange would be like this. Now where the both of the countries would, intersect with each other when their terms of trade would now be similar. So if I say this point E point where this country one is arriving, then the country two also has to arrive on this particular point to intersect equally. It means both exchange rate is equals to 1. So whatever x is being exchanged, and for y, that is same in the proportion for both of the countries. So if it is 2 here, okay, so the country's triangle of exchange is this. So country has to change its terms of trade, and the country would shift from this F point to this B point. Now they have another terms of trade, that is PB dash, which is equals to 1. And the consumption point is, that is now E dash, and it is producing another triangle of exchange. So with this, the country is now able to able to offer similar quantity of Y and able to get similar quantity of X. So the exchange rate would now be equals to 1. Now, based on these consumption points, that H dash, okay, similarly this E dash, we can club all the points here and we can get the offer curve for the nation too. Okay. And there also the country's motivation is that px by py should get reduced. Now, how this reciprocal demand comes? See, the country's motivation is px by py should rise in international market, then only x should be produced more, and then only x to be offered more. It means the other country has to, import more of this x commodity or demand more of this x commodity. If there is a rise in demand, okay, then what happens with the, let's say with the 5 units of x, they would be able to get, or this nation would be able to get 10 units of y. So this is the meaning that the nation too has more demand of x. So always this is an encouragement for this country that the nation too has more demand of x, or gradually the price of x is increasing. Similarly here also the price of y has to increase. Okay, it means the nation one has demand for this commodity x. Let me see, somebody has, okay, so any doubt till now? So you're getting this, why these shapes are like this? So this nation two is also following this reciprocal demand, and according to its reciprocal demand, the commodity Y's demand should be there in the nation one, and then only there is an encouragement for this nation one to move from H dash point to E dash point. So similar way, nation two incurs increasing opportunity cost in producing more of commodity Y for the exports, and the more of commodity X and the less of commodity Y that nation two consumes with trade, the more valuable to the nation is a unit of Y at the margin compared with a unit of X. Okay, so the same way you have to describe it, but the analysis is just reversed for both of the nations. Now, both offer curves would intersect with each other. So here we arrive from different points of international trade, sorry, the terms of trade, and you got it, two blue offer curves out of it, and they are intersecting with each other at the point E and E dash. So both are equal now, and this says that when both terms of trade now equivalent to each other, offering by these two nations, nation one and a nation two, then the exchange would be possible between two of the countries. Now, see, this whole analysis is just fundamental. Okay, the fundamental, this shows that how the countries would reach from these point to this point, these point to this point. But always you will not have the situation like this, that the 60x would be exchanged with the 60y. That is not the always a case. There could be the retaliation by this country. Okay, now you can see this nation bonds of a curve blue. This may retaliate inward also, and this may retaliate outward also. Similarly, in reaction, this country may retaliate inward also, and this country may also retaliate outward. Can anybody tell me this thing? If this country would retaliate, let's say the nation one would retaliate inward, then what will happen, or what will be the effect on international trade? Is there any idea about it? Okay, I'm coming to the discussion section first. Yeah. Yes.
Ma'am, the equilibrium will set on lower point.
Low. Nee, I'm just asking what will be the broad effect. Don't go with diagram. Just give me a broad effect. What will happen there?
Ma'am,
Because that is the realistic approach. Okay. This always we cannot have, the equal approach, or we say that the exchange rate which is equals to one.
Ma'am, it depend upon city then.
It depends upon elasticity. That's why the country would move inward and the move outward. Okay. So if there is a retaliation inward because of there is the elasticity. So what happens, what effects you would immediately see in the world economy? See, all of a sudden, because of COVID-19, there is a demand of pharma products, okay, in the world economy. So you would see what kind of changes it will bring, the pattern, a changing pattern in the international trade. So these things
Ma'am,
you can
domestic,
relate.
ma'am, domestic country will put tariff on the import of other commodities from another country.
Okay, something else.
Ma'am, there
First,
could
you
be a
answer me, if it is an inward retaliation, then what immediate effect you would see? Immediate effect.
uh, ma'am, demand for special community commodity.
जब हमने हाइड्रोक्सी क्लोरोक्विन को देने से मना कर दिया था, है ना, तो वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमी में हुआ क्या था? कीप पॉलिटिकल इकोनॉमी असाइड, नो आइडिया? Inward retaliation means what? Now your offer curve is actually changing their taste and preferences. ओके, तो हाइड्रोक्सी क्लोरोक्विन अगर हम पहले बहुत ज्यादा एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे थे, तो अब हम नहीं करना चाहते हैं. हम क्यों नहीं करना चाहते हैं? बिकॉज आवर पॉपुलेशन इज ऑल्सो हाई, दे ऑल्सो नीड इट. Okay, so our taste and preference is changing towards that particular medicine, so you want to keep it more. Are you getting or not? So if it is
ma'am,
getting inward, then these pharma products would now be costly to the world economy. Okay, so you're offering at the higher prices. Yes, you want to say something? Yes, yes, somebody wants to say something. There's so much
ma'am,
of
if
noise.
retaliation occurs,
Hmm.
then there is a higher possibility of trade war between the two countries.
What?
Ma'am, there is a possibility of trade war.
हाँ, trade war कह सकते हैं. Not exactly. The first immediate thing in the world economy, you would see that the volume of trade is declining. The volume of trade is declining. See, realistic approach are different because political economy is also there. अब हम कहेंगे भी नहीं हमें तो यूएस प्रेसिडेंट ने धमका दिया, वो एक अलग एस्पेक्ट है. ठीक है. और सेकंड एस्पेक्ट अगर हम ये बोलेंगे कि नहीं उसने वाई कमोडिटी को भी मुझे देने से मना कर दिया, तो दे हैव आंसर्ड इनटू द रिटेलिएशन. दैट इज आल्सो रियलिस्टिक एंड दैट इज आल्सो फंडामेंटल. क्योंकि दो लार्ज कंट्रीज जब आपस में रिटेलिएशन करते हैं, द वन कंट्री इज रिटेलिएटेड इनवर्ड, देन अदर कंट्री वुड आल्सो गिव द आंसर लाइक दैट. लेकिन एक स्मॉल कंट्री क्या करे? स्मॉल कंट्री रिटेलिएशन नहीं कर सकता, उसे वो सब कुछ ऐसे झेलना होता है। हमें हाइड्रोक्सी क्लोरोक्विन देनी पड़ी ना, तो हमारे लिए गिवन होते हैं टर्म्स ऑफ ट्रेड। ओके, सो दैट इज द डिफरेंट स्टोरी, बट द इमीडिएट इफेक्ट यू वुड सी दैट the volume of trade in the world economy would decline. The first thing, the inward अगर आप हो गए, दूसरा नहीं भी हुआ, तो भी volume of trade decline होगा। लेकिन अगर आप inward हो गए और दूसरे ने जवाब में खुद का भी inward कर दिया, तो volume of trade और भी decline हो जाएगा। Now, what is the harm to the world economy? Both of the countries' consumption would decline. What was their aim? They were actually targeting their pro-trade. तो दोनों के pro-trade harm होंगे, and their welfare would also get declined. दोनों के community indifference का lower position पे आ जाएंगे. So that will happen. And if this retaliation would be outer, then this is the cause of maybe a technical progress. Maybe now you're offering this commodity at the lower cost because इस साल बारिश बहुत अच्छी हुई, हमारी crop बहुत अच्छी हुई, so that is why you have a volume of it and you want to offer it outside at the larger scale. तो ऐसे में क्या होगा? Again, your commodities price in the world economy would be declining because now your supply is more. So it's automatically affecting the prices of it. And at the same time, other country would offering you the commodity Y, which is now lesser than that. So it means Y commodity would be relatively expensive for you. Is that clear? Inward और outward के differences और immediate impact क्या होंगे? First, we are just talking about fundamentals. Okay, realistic approach को हम जोड़ सकते हैं, इसमें कोई problem नहीं है, but उसमें फिर हमें we need to add this political economy part too. Okay, कुछ आ रहा है समझ कि नहीं? Am I asking something? या
Yes,
अभी भी
ma'am.
डाउट है?
Yes, ma'am.
डाउट है तो पूछो अभी भी। Inward or outward, we can have the diagrammatical presentations on it, but just to get an idea that what will happen for the inward and outward. तो अभी हमने पढ़ा nation one's derivation, nation two's offer curve derivation, and the offer curves intersection. Now, having all these three diagrams, whether it is completing our offer curve derivation or we are missing something. Are we missing something? See, I added one concept in that, the community indifference curve. Fine. The community indifference curve has also another approach, and that is trade indifference curve. Okay. The trade indifference curve is just a combination of various community indifference curve. So in a country itself, community is offering something, but this community indifference curve also give another approach, that is the trade indifference curve. So trade has also the welfare aspect. The trade has to reach on this welfare analysis, so that is important. So we need to add this trade indifference curve in our offer curve derivation. Okay, so to add this, I'll go back to presentation. Okay, now from this we'll go for trade indifference curve. Now the trade indifference curve is what? Trade indifference curve, here we have A star, here we have Z star, here we have B star. Okay, the different points. Now these different points, you can see this production possibility curve too. Let's say there is the nation 1. Okay, they are offering the commodity X, and there is this indifference curve, or we say it is a community indifference curve. From this community indifference curve, you would reach to this trade indifference curve. But how? First of all, what is this trade indifference curve? This shows the various trade situations that provide a nation equal welfare. Okay, that provide a nation equal welfare. It means if we follow on the indifference curve, by the definition of indifference curve, what points we have, Z, A, B, W, these all are showing the same level of satisfaction. Now suppose if the country is following the tangency on this particular point A, okay, where their production point and the consumption point similar, so accordingly we could get this A star point where the trade indifference curve is basically amount to 0. Why? Because if we are choosing this A point where production point and the consumption point similar, then we do not need to participate in international trade, and the point is revealing what the zero trade welfare. So basically, this is assessing participation in international trade and the welfare which we are gaining from this trade. So from community indifference curve, if we are choosing other points, okay, like W, like B, and like Z, from all these points we can derive this B star point, where hypothetical production possibility curve we can make, okay, where we are following this tangency. But actually we don't have. We are trying to get, because this is outside of production possibility curve, this much of amount we are getting in exchange from the other countries. So actually this point would locate it on the trade indifference curve. So this is our welfare, gain. B star point, that is the welfare gain located on this trade indifference curve, which is hypothetically drawn with the production possibility curve here, which is actually not there. Then we have this W. Similarly, you can get this W star, and similarly, you would get this Z star also. So the level of welfare shown by a trade indifference curve is given by the community indifference curve, from which the trade indifference curve is derived. So we need to note that the slope of the trade indifference curve at any point is equal to the slope at the corresponding point on the community indifference curve, from which the trade indifference curve is derived. So if we do follow the similar production point, similar consumption point, then we have zero trade indifference curve, or the zero welfare which we are deriving out of this trade. And other points will have value, which is a positive value. Here we have a positive value. Here we have a positive value, because this we are getting through the imports from the other country, and this is adding value to the consumption for this nation. So that is why the analysis of trade indifference curve is very important. So there's one trade indifference curve for each community indifference curve in this analysis. And same way as the higher indifference curve shows the higher level of utility, the same way higher level of trade indifference curve shows the higher level of welfare. So this analysis would be drawn in this way. So again, we have production possibilities, different points, and then you can get those things. So how this trade indifference curve we would need to add in our offer curve. So for that, I will be taking the same nation one's offer curve. Okay. Here we have 1/4, then half, then 1.5, then 2, and then 4. See, all the time what is happening, all the time your PX by PY is rising. Okay. That's why this country would like to move on this point. But where to get these particular points of H, E, R? So all points which are intersected by this particular, sorry, tangent by intersection, you can take the intersection by this terms of trade lines, okay, that will also follow the tangency with the trade indifference curve. हम अक्सर क्या करते हैं, प्रोडक्शन पॉसिबिलिटी पे कम्युनिटी इंडिफरेंस कर्व की टेंजेंसीज फॉलो करते हैं, एंड इन दी country, within the country, we are saying that yes, it is a point of welfare, and you're arriving on the optimal choice because it's following MRS, like Pareto optimality, it's following the MRS is equals to MRPT. Fine. So we are just trying to do the same thing, but with the approach of trade indifference curve. And that says that this, whenever you are offering this H point, or you are arriving on the consumption of H point, E point, R point by offering this X commodity, then this trade indifference curve has to follow the tangency on the several points. And then we say, yes, it is also touching the welfare aspect or the Pareto optimality in this case. And then only the offer curves derivation and this analysis would be completed in this case. And this says that there will be two different effects. See here, from this position to this position, if you would reach, that is, we do follow elastic approach, okay, then we have unitary elastic, then we have inelastic approach. So this way the whole shape we can derive. So basically we have the two different effects. The one is we have income effect, and the second we have the substitution effect. So when nation one supplies more of commodity X, okay, for exports, like Px by Py, suppose if it is greater than this position, let's say the income effect, because up to this position we are definitely offering more, okay, this is one fourth, this is half, this is one, but now it is increasing, not the same pace. It means this is the half, this is half, and then it is converting into the backward bending. So two different effects are actually working out. The one is income effect, which is trying to overwhelm the opposite substitution effect, which nation one supplies less of commodity X for the exports. So gradually the country or the nation one is willing to supply less of this commodity X. And why? The only reason that Px by Py must rise. If suppose Px by Py is not rising, then the country would not, may retaliate either outward or either inward. If they have a more demand of Y, they will go for the outward. If they have a less demand of the Y, they'll go for the inward. So in that whole process, which is dependent on, that is the elasticity approach for this nation or any nation when they are offering, the commodity for the export, and the two different income effect and the opposite substitution effects both would work out with each other, and then only this offer curve shape would be derived like that. Okay.